Hey everybody, BTO Pro here. Today I'm going to show you how to get HAX and web components going in BackdropCMS. So for those not familiar, BackdropCMS is a fork of Drupal 7. So it's very similar conventions to Drupal 7. You see it even mentions upgrading from Drupal 7. So it's not quite the leap in mindset that like a Drupal 7 to Drupal 8 is. But so on here, we have Web Components module, and we also have the HAX module ported. Oh, there it is. And so basically, it's really easy. If you can make a module for Drupal 7, it's really easy to port it to Backdrop. It's almost automated. But so I have a little play space here of a Backdrop site I just have running in a VM. It's in an Elms VM. I just, for the sake of having an environment here, it doesn't touch Elms in any way. So I've got just a boilerplate site that I installed, and so now we're going to get web components on there. And so I'm going to copy this link here. All right, Backdrop, and I'm going to go into modules. So the directory structure of Backdrop is a little different than your traditional Drupal 7. Okay, we're going to unzip web components. And remove that file. Okay, so now I have my web component file there. Slightly different structure. It's a little bit more like D8 in that way. Just if you haven't seen it before, it's a little cleaner at the top level. You actually do put things in modules. All of Backdrop's actual core is located in core, so it keeps it much cleaner as far as your integration workflows and things. So that gets web components there. All right, let's get the HAX module. Other thing I kind of like about Backdrop is this stuff is hosted off of GitHub, so you don't have all the infrastructure that you have to deal with. Which Drupal's infrastructure is really nice, but I mean all my other workflows use GitHub anyway, so it just makes it that much easier. So we get rid of HAX.zip. Okay, so now I have those modules there. In these demos, you'll notice I just run lazy type of permission choning commands. You really shouldn't do this, but because I'm in local development and I don't want to get any permission errors ever, I just run 777. Obviously, you want to do more like a 755 or something like that for when you get out the door, but that's not the point in this video. So now I have HAX on there, and I have the Web Components module in place. So let's go to structure functionality, I believe it is. Yeah, functionality. There we go. So Web Components module, you can see I have Polymer selected. I was doing that part previously. And there's the other aspects are ported. They may or may not work quite as well as the D8 version. But we can enable the HAX module as well. Those are enabled now. If you watch any of the other videos, you see we have this offset and the elements to auto load thing right here. However, we need to actually get some web components in place because I didn't finish that part of the install. So if we go into the HAX folder, there's a bower.json. So we're going to copy the bower.json file over to libraries, web components, Polymer, and bower.json. Now we're going to go over there, web components, Polymer, see my bower.json. You see there's also apps there. So I was messing with some stuff to do. You can do some more advanced stuff with that. Bower install, not bower.json. So bower install is going to run, just as it has in other videos, to show that the workflow is exactly the same. It's kind of what I'm trying to illustrate with these, is that we can have the exact same development patterns across platform here. So it's going to run. It's going to resolve some dependencies, much like the other video. I'm going to choose option 3 for that, and option 2 for that, and iron location, give out an option 2. At least for HAX-based work, we're running Polymer 1x, but a lot of our elements are Polymer 2 just because they are compatible. Okay, so now we've got those in place. Let's frag the caches on here and see if it picks them up. There we go. So this is something the Web Components module gets you, whether it's for Backdrop or D6 or D7. Or actually, sorry, it won't do in D6. It'll do in D7. So it noticed that there are attributes in there, that there are web components, and so it not only loaded them, but now I should be able to inspect and view source. Ah, there we go. So it auto-loaded them and threw them onto the page. So now all of these elements are made available to us. And so let's make something that's even worth doing that with. So let's make a book page for fun. Stuff and things. Formatting, let's do full HTML. Let's make this a book because we're going to illustrate something else too, hopefully. Save. Okay. Now, I have HAX mode there because this is running HAX. And the admin menu I need a button to make it go away. But there's my little HAX create button. Let's see if I can shrink this down and scroll below. No, it is affixed. Okay, so we'll want to rectify that with the admin menu, which we probably can do if we go to configuration, administration bar, just top margin. Let's get rid of key part at the top of the page and that, and get rid of some of these things. Management menu's fine. Account links I kind of like actually. Okay, so we've got that on there. Let's see if that helps at all. To content, stuff and things, HAX. Need like a really tall page, probably. I need a really tall page. Hey, there we go. We can scroll away from it. So, that is, again, because I'm an admin. But so I can pull that out. I'm just trying to get that to pull out cleanly. And so I can hit text, and we've got text there. Headings, as we've seen in other videos. Gizmo browser, still there. Those things are loaded in, just like in some of the other videos. If I ran a Wikipedia article, if I type backdrop, yeah, it's probably not going to. Oh, it does come up. There's BackdropCMS. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Much like I did with the Drupal one. Tells you about the fact that it's a fork. Okay, insert. So now we got that article in there. Make it 50% wide. We could change the search term dynamically. It's pretty cool. Don't show the title. Jump back into this. I actually wanted CMS there. Kind of just trying to illustrate the power of this development workflow. Let's do the ye old injected video from YouTube. Whoops. Not sure what I clicked there. Oh, you know what? I hit back on my mouse. It's like, that's not a thing. Okay, there we go. Video from YouTube. Very old version of HAX. I actually found this is kind of funny. This is what the HAX system was being envisioned as 2 years ago. It's a prototype that I found. Make some modifications. I don't want it to be responsive. Heck, let's duplicate it a bunch. Because I don't know what other videos you've seen, person watching this. So we could duplicate elements, inject a bunch more text, some paragraphs, fire up Gizmo browser. Kind of eventually you start to reach a point where maybe if you've had enough coffee, you could just kind of overwhelm people with what this is able to do and realize that it's not written for Backdrop. This is a huge advantage to the methodology we're following. Any of these videos you'll see, this is written against the platform. And what is the platform? The platform is the web. And then we teach these CMSs how to play nice with the platform. So that whether this is BackdropCMS or when I type Grav in there, otherwise, all of my front end and all my UX components are abstracted from the rest of the system. So that when I hit save in this system, that little message says saved. It has actually saved. And we need to clean that up as far as it injecting those after the fact. But we'll see in the editor here, if I turn off, oh, it had to be, it might have been the issue. It might not have actually been full HTML. Ah, so if I make it full HTML, I bet it would show. So let's try that again. Go into HAX mode. Okay, heading. Throw in one of our videos. Insert, cool, save. Let's see if it's saved. Hey, there it is. Cool. So that was the input format. So again, if you have concerns about doing all of this stuff on the front end, here's a really good use case for why back-end processing is still really important in these content management systems. That was respecting my input filters. So I previously had this page set to not allow for the sophisticated content to go in there. And as a result, it didn't let it, right? So another principle of HAX, that the things that I put into the DOM is exactly what I'm getting. It's not what you see is what you should get. It's what you see is what you get, literally, because it is just touching the DOM and manipulating it. So now if I go to view, I have the thing that I did with my video put in place exactly where it's supposed to be. All my headings that I smashed in there. And now I can go in and we can, delete some of this stuff, clean it up a little bit. I do have a lot of spacing in there. You can see another part of the power of this. Okay, kill. Okay, get rid of all of those, duplicate this video, save. Cool. So, if you need to make any tweaks to it, in content authoring and HAX, perhaps you have a theme that kind of messes with some of the box model positioning stuff, there's a setting for that. If, say, we don't want our users to use this PDF element tag, I can take that out of there. And now when I go in and I go to this book page again, I should now, with HAX mode, not have that gizmo. I still do have that gizmo option, so I'll have to see what's going on with that as far as reading off of the configuration option there. But that's the idea with that setting, is that it would remove things from that listing. It's still there, okay. Not without our flaws. This is in an outline, and so let's do something else a little fun here. Let's add a page real quick. Thing, save. And now let's find that ID, because you see there's a word that says book there, and I'm going to make it kind of screw up on purpose. Stuff and Things is the name of the book. It's 7. So let's go to I'm not super familiar with Backdrop all the time. Structure menu, there we go. They restructured some of the names of things and locations, but it is still pretty much Drupal. Let's see, book, start, okay. So let's change start to node 7. Now I'm cheating here, obviously, because I know what that's going to point to. But now we've got start pointing to node 7. If I go to that, I have this little thing. It's a little outdated because it's been in development since then. But this is our LRN app book application. And so that app, if you've seen it in any of our other videos, looks like this when we run it in Elms, and actually this is running inside of Drupal 7, right? And so I have my pages laid out in such a way I can click and go to them, but these are fundamentally nodes behind the scene. Well, we can, and this is a slightly older edition of it, but this is illustrating that if we are able to teach our CMSs how to handle the platform, right, and how to handle these tags that we're manufacturing, we can actually start to kind of decouple ourselves from any system, obviously within reason. But this is an older version of that was illustrating, that you could load this into the book player in this case, and that it would just read off the nodes from the file system. The web component module helps with the routing, right? So it generates routes automatically based on your front-end assets. Because we're trying to build things from the way they should look and function, and then our CMSs are going to come in and sprinkle in the data. It's kind of the workflow we're going for here. So that's HAX, and that is the Web Components module for Backdrop. If you have any questions about it, I'm BTO Pro on Twitter. Be doing a lot of stuff with HAX and the HAX of the Web initiative as far as it goes with Elms, but I'm also porting it to all these different systems to really illustrate its raw power. So if you have more questions about what the Web Components module can do, there's a lot more documentation on BackdropCMS.org/project/webcomponents.